Welcome to Panel Talk, folks. I'm your host, Troy Skubitz, and this is a half-an-hour talk show. We have a panelist. It's called Panel Talk. I'm the host here, and we're going to interview our guests. It's a continuation of part 2 of the theme, Is There Life After High School? The people to my left here are people that I graduated with, and so we have Trina Mannery, Celia Townsend, Gregg Springer, and Tom Hammack. So welcome back, you guys. Continuing from the last show, okay, I have so many questions for you guys, okay? We all have, first of all, we all talked about our lives, what we're currently doing right now. But what do you guys see in the future? In the future, what in 10 years from now, what is like a dream career for you? What do you guys want to do? Where do you see yourselves, first of all? It's a two-part question. Where do you see yourselves and what would you like to do, ideally? Okay? So, Celia, go ahead and start. Since you're looking at me with like eyes like this big.
I hope I'm out of college.
You hope you're out of college? It's like eternal. It goes on forever. Yeah. Anything else?
I'm not quite sure yet.
Yeah. Do you still want to work fashion in the fashion business?
No.
Not at all. You found you didn't like it?
No.
Really?
I want to do something for the environment.
For the environment? Good. And Gregg, what about you?
What do I see myself?
Where do you see yourself in 10 years, and where would you like to see yourself? So that's kind of a different perspective.
Yeah. Where would I like to see myself? I guess stability is the main. You have to just feel completely stable, just completely well-rounded. Where I would like to be 10 years from now, career-wise, would be a manager or director of a clinic or hospital or something like that, or an administrator is where my real career goal is aiming at this point. Like Celia, I would also like to be done with college.
So to help others in that type of career.
Right, exactly.
That's great. And Tom?
I don't know.
Yeah?
I've read a lot of not self-help books, but different authors on discovering the soul and your inner person, and I've got a whole new direction maybe to follow after. Maybe if I can find myself or find my purpose in life, then I'll.
Do you think it'll hit you?
I don't know. I suspect it. I suspect it will.
Yeah.
I think it'll creep. I don't think it'll knock me over one day,
but you'll know.
Yeah. I hope to.
Yeah. And Trina?
I think I'm discovering that family is very, very important. So
yeah.
I do know that I want to have a good family relationship with my husband and my child or children. And as far as career, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that I'm not where I want to be.
Yeah.
For long term.
Career-wise.
Right.
Yeah. Isn't it interesting, the things that are important to us now 10 years later? I mean, like, we were probably very shallow 10 years ago and said, yeah, I want to be rich, and I want a fancy car, and I want, great career, and I want a woman on both arms, or whatever, whatever the stupid shallow stuff is, and it's all changed. I mean, we hear stability and family is very important and things like that. That's all terrific. It's interesting. Did you guys all hear that? Y'all know what's important now? Okay. This is so corny, but I have the yearbook. Here we go. Okay, I have the yearbook. Who still looks the same? This is what I want to know. Okay, here we go. Here's Tom. Can we get a close-up of this? Here, I'll put it. Here we go. There's Tom. Does Tom still look the same? Yeah, just different haircut. Tom looks the same. Here we go.
Sure.
Here's
collar.
Who else do we have here? Gregg. We must have Gregg here somewhere. Gregg Springer, right here. Still the same? Same tie even. Okay, here's the unbelievable one. Here's Trina up here. Trina used to change her hair, once a week. She'd have a different hairstyle. She'd go anywhere from any color to anything. And then here's Celia. She has better hair now.
You're one to talk.
And speaking of me, here's me.
Actually, Troy, we have another picture of you.
Yeah, another picture.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Look at now and look at then.
Oh.
Yes, I don't know if this means anything to
Gregg, I didn't even know you cared.
This is before orthodontist or something. They're rarely available in West Seattle.
Never had an orthodontist. That is a good picture. I like that picture. Excuse me.
See, I knew him when he looked at me.
Trina knew me.
far as I can get in.
Well, we have it on tape, so
And
destroy the paper.
I also have the school newspaper, okay? Wait till you guys hear this. We had in our school newspaper, and it's dated June 13th, 1986, okay? It says, a decade from now, only time will tell. And it says, in 10 years, Celia Townsend will not have her driver's license and still be asking people for rides, okay? Do you have your driver's license?
a Washington
You
State
finally got it. Congratulations.
Last week.
Here we go. Did you really? In 10 years, Tom Hammack will be imprisoned in Leavenworth for an honest Canadian vacation. Has that happened?
No comment.
I did take
Could you use an honest Canadian vacation?
I went up to Whistler for that whole season.
Well, there you go. It did happen.
Mounted police, actually.
A little bit early. Here's in 10 years, Trina Surfling will have, gasp, a normal haircut. And
It was touch and go there for a while.
yeah, boy, it was. I'm surprised you still have hair. and who are we missing here?
Greg.
Gregg, I can't find you.
That's okay.
Greg, here. In 10 years, Greg Springer will be on his knees begging for food and water. Are we even close?
Somewhat. Not quite there, but
Not that
somewhat.
bad here. And in 10 years, it says Troy Skubitz. Troy Skubitz, to hell with him.
You weren't in
Yeah,
there.
in 10 years, Troy Skubitz will become Mr. Universe while working at McDonald's. And I think that's happened.
Pretty close.
Pretty close. Pretty buff. Here we go.
Just such a stud.
And we don't have on camera, we don't have camera, and she won't go on camera, but our stage manager is Kelly Keegan, and she went to school with us. And it says in 10 years, Kelly Keegan will be president of the world's largest tuna company. And we all know that happened. Okay. Anyway, so it's funny, isn't it? It's funny to look back on these things. What do you think of the kids of today? What do you think of kids today?
You know, I was driving by the school the other day,
Yeah.
and I couldn't believe how young they looked. Did we look that young when?
I guess we did. Which is that then?
I'm like, these kids are not old enough to be in high school. It was really weird how your perception of age.
It just changes. Yeah. How about you? What do you think of the kids today?
Well, I don't know. I guess I don't really know any personally, but I just my general observation is I think I don't know. They don't take things too seriously anymore.
Oh, and we did.
Look at us. I don't know. I mean, I think they need to get a little more focused,
Yeah.
or they're going to be in a lot of trouble in 10 years.
Yeah.
You know?
Is it a harder world? to
Oh
live in
yeah.
now?
Oh.
It is, isn't it? There are police cars in front of the school now.
Yeah,
where
we did.
never
We
had-
had like
never had
one
that.
security guard roaming around.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't have to worry about things like that.
Yeah. What do you think? Kids
Um,
today. You
yeah,
must
I-
see a lot of kids because of working at the clinic type
Right.
environment.
My opinion is that they're hearing from us what our parents used to tell us. Oh, it's so hard, and we're trying to protect you from this harsh world when you get into it, and it's one of those things that you learn when you grow into it. I just think that, like Celia said, they just need to be probably a little bit more focused, but you can't force somebody to be more focused. I think that's something that you just learn through life.
Yeah.
And it's just experiences. You make mistakes, you trip, you fall, and you get up again, and you move on.
And you just go.
And you go.
Yeah. Tom?
I don't know. I think in a lot of respects, it's maybe a little harder now to catch on to whatever, to go. There's so many outside, like you said, off the air, you said that not a lot of people attended your dances, that there were so many other things to do. Everybody's kind of doing their own thing. There's so many other small things that can gather your interest that it maybe is a little harder to focus than it was for us. We didn't really have anything else to choose from, so we were kind of narrowed in our sight. And then, 10 years ago, we were just having a few computers brought into the school, and it was just unbelievable, to see an Apple computer. Nobody even knew what it was. And now, I don't know what it's like there now, but I've seen it some other school districts where people are wired into the internet, and it almost seems, in some ways, it seems like you guys are just smarter, quicker, easier to adapt to it. Just like a 5-year-old can learn a language if they're around it all the time. One of the parents is Spanish. It seems like you're not that much younger than I am. I'm 26. You must be well, let me do some math, 10, 16, you can just click around with the mouse and pop in and out of screens.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe it's just too many
Electronics.
things going on
Yeah.
to focus.
You guys probably have computers to help you get into your lockers now, I guess. Huh?
Not yet.
Not yet, that hasn't come around. Who do you guys see, because I'm sure you guys keep up with some of the people, not everybody, you don't keep up with everybody, but who do you see in our class that you think of was, wow, they're pretty successful? And you can weight the word successful at whatever success means to you.
I think for me, David Groom.
David Groom?
Oh,
Why?
yeah.
Because he worked while he was in high school, if I'm not mistaken, saved up his money. His parents matched what he had saved or put something into it, and he opened his own business shortly after we graduated, and the business has tripled in size.
Really?
Through the years. His bike shop, he has a bike shop, and the bike shop literally, I mean, it was like a closet when he opened it, and now it's huge.
It's real big.
And it's actually, for the alumni, he gives discounts.
Really?
Yeah, we go in and we get our stuff at a discount just because we know him.
Well, I'll just have to get my biking wear there. Okay. And Tom, who do you think?
Bud Lee.
Bud Lee?
He,
Why did
may not
everybody
seem
laugh?
like-
It's like an inside joke.
he's had his share of problems. He didn't have any sort of an easy road in life, but I probably shouldn't even say this, but he might be gone by then. He enlisted in the Army,
Yeah?
and he and I talked about it, and it
Just
Since-
recently? You're
yeah,
saying
like
recently.
within
Yeah.
the last month or so, just had no, like myself and like you guys maybe, I don't know if you do or not, but just really had no focus, nothing to strive for, to achieve, and he's just going to go into the service and kind of be told what to do, and maybe find out what he does want to do by a process of elimination. Just go through all the things that just find all the things he hates, and then X those off, and hopefully there'll be something left.
Yeah, you hope. We all hope. But
Yeah.
but you admire that he's...
Yeah, he's just taking, it's a huge step, and he's committing 6 years of his life, and he's just gonna just throw up and do it.
I hope you said grow up. No, Trina, who do you think?
Unfortunately, I haven't kept up with very many of
Yeah.
our classmates, but
I had a hard time getting through to you. But go ahead. For the show.
But from what I've heard, I think it has to be hats off to Jay Pack.
To JPAC?
Yeah.
Why?
I think he worked hard through high school. I think he worked hard through college.
Uh-huh. He went into the Army Academy?
Right.
Yeah.
And
What's he doing now?
that couldn't be easy,
No.
to have gone through that.
And he's opening his own business.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
software.
so, that's great. I'd like to work for myself someday.
Yeah.
So I think that's really
That's very admirable, yeah. And Celia, who do you think?
Jay also.
Jay as well? You think of it? I think of, here's a name that we haven't brought up, is Long Hair and Tama, Warrior. Because every time I see them, they're always very together, and there's a nice spirit about their togetherness, their marriage, that just seems genuine. And every time I see them, and it's just nice. They're not kissy, lovey, but you feel a bond there.
Yeah.
And so you think that's a successful marriage, and that they bought a house, and congratulations to them, and they're getting by. And so you go, that's terrific. We should probably get back over to the panelists, because I'm sure they have a lot of questions for you guys. So here we go. These are the panelists, if you guys remember from the last show, who are 10 years younger than our guests today. They're currently going to our old high school. So let's start with Samurai this time. How are you, Samurai?
I'm pretty good.
Good. You have a question for
Yeah, I noticed earlier that we have some of the teachers that you guys had, and I wanted to know how they acted back then, because it seems like some of them has changed, or something about them is different.
We don't know who's there anymore. I
Like
think.
Mr. Inquist, Miss Haler, and Mr. Ranella.
I'm going to give you the viewpoint from sports. I don't know if Tom may have had this problem, but Tom was in honor, so it may not have been too much of a problem for him. But with the teachers, some of them were really into pushing you to be the best that you can be, whereas for some you're a student athlete, so we'll make things not as hard for you as we would for the normal student. And I know of personal cases of people that graduated after us that when they went to the next level in schooling didn't make it, because unfortunately they didn't get that push like the rest of us did. And that's why when we got out, I mean, granted we didn't all become scholars, but we took the next step and we did something with it. Whereas for some were pretty good teachers, and a couple of them, what they taught me molded the kind of person that I am today.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, there were a couple there that were just kind of there.
I guess any job you get burnout. So, out of the names he mentioned, did anyone have a story? No. We used to have
stories, but we don't know if we
I
can tell them.
have a story. Haler, the Haler lady, she was Mrs. Haler was a health teacher when we went there, and we had an egg project. Okay, you guys still do that? You take an egg, and you have to have it for a week, and if your egg breaks, you pretend it's your baby, it's your child, so they team up a man and woman, and if the egg breaks, then you fail, and if the egg is still around, then you pass. Okay, it was just a pass-fail type of grade. Trina and Jay were mother and father, and she had a pail. And Trina used to walk very erect, okay, and she'd go bounding up the stairs, and the pail just swung, and the baby went flying up the stairs, and just broke in a million pieces. And the other thing was Stacy, who was a good friend of ours, she was my wife, and we fathered and mothered an egg together, and the egg broke. The egg broke, and we go, oh my God, we're going to fail this. And we put up little posters that said, have you seen this egg? We pretended it was egg napped. It was kidnapped. And we put them up all around the school, so you can do these things. I'm helping you here if you fail in that class.
He's going to recall that grade.
He's going to recall that, yeah. Suddenly, I didn't graduate. Okay, Amy, do you have a question?
Well, I just want to know, like, all the classes you took and everything, did it prepare you, like, when you went to college or wherever you went for life? Did anything, or, like, like, classes we take, they're like, oh, well, this will, like, help you later on, like, this math and all, or whatever you take.
Does anyone use math anymore?
Well, any of the things that you did now, like in our high school, did it help you at all? Or?
Yeah.
Definitely. In fact, looking back now, I wish that I had taken high school a little more seriously. Because it's very important in your jobs. Like, I need to communicate a lot, both through memos and person to person in my job. And I think, well, I wish I had better writing skills, better spelling skills, and so definitely. I mean, you might think that they're not, but they
like,
will.
Oh, how this can apply, and it does.
Yeah.
I think the reading was one thing that we were supposed to do a lot of it, and I always just went and bought the Cliff Notes, read the first sentence of every paragraph, or the last sentence, and would buzz through an entire book that way, and you'd get the general gist of it, but just the very, very basic things, the reading, and maybe some of the math classes, like pre-calculus. If you are going to go on to a university, there are certain math prerequisites that you have to meet, and if you get them all, then you can kind of breeze through that. I mean, if you take the time in high school to just accept a bunch of abstract things that just don't really make any sense, you're not going to use it to balance your checkbook, but you'll just accept it and go with it, then you can get into college, and that's one less worry, and you can concentrate on doing something enjoyable. So,
Marcus.
For us being in the class in 1996 and we're graduating next year, it seems like the future is really imminent. It's like it's right upon us. And seeing you guys talking that you guys still have, things that you want to do and want to accomplish, do you see a time as when the future is just now you're old, or do you just see it as...
Yeah, great question, Marcus.
I don't know.
It creeps up pretty quick.
It creeps up pretty quick. I actually, on occasion, because most of us still live in West Seattle, in the West Seattle area, we bump into each other, and we just kind of, actually this year, it really hit us.
Oh my God.
Reunion is next year. It's now coming upon us, and we're all sitting down and reflecting, well, what did we accomplish in the last 9-10 years? And we go, oops.
I think consciously the last age I remember being is 22, and now I'm going on 27. So you go, something happened in those between 22 and 27. You go, wow.
When I graduated, like I said, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. That's why I didn't jump into college right away. But you just eventually you come of age and you just mature and you know what you want to be when you grow up.
When you're 18, you feel like you're going to be that age forever.
Ever.
You know, and then all of a sudden you're 26.
That's why staying up to 4 in the morning and then going to sleep and waking up at 7 is not a problem then. If you try that stunt.
You show up late for panel time.
That is so true. So true. Back to you, Samri.
I wanted to know what kind of music you guys listen to, like, you know, maybe Boy George or something, because nowadays. Whatever. Yeah, but
Who was hot? Who was hot when we went to school?
Run DMC.
Run DMC. A lot of
Yeah, Boy George.
That's
When we
rap
first
just
Madonna.
started. Yeah, Michael
Basically, what
Jackson.
you hear on the old school,
Pet Shop Boys.
we are
Yeah.
the old school. What you hear when you hear
Salt
those
and
old
pepper.
schools,
What's
the old original
Yeah.
Salt and Pepper, that kind of
The
stuff.
Thompson twins.
Thompson.
Trina is all the time.
Yeah, Depeche Mode and
Right.
Oh, yeah.
The Cure and all this. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Amy?
Scoochies was.
Scoochies. Oh, encore. You know, these guys look all bewildered.
I still listen to cutting edge music. It's not like I turn to the oldies
Yeah.
station or something and listen to,
Yeah, we're not line dancing yet.
you know, 19.
Go ahead, Amy.
No, I just don't know, like, some of you guys said you're undecided, and how did you come to know, or do you guys all know what you want to be, or, I don't know, how?
I looked
Like,
at it
when you
this way.
guys
I thought
figured
about
it
what I could see myself waking up every morning and doing, and wanting to get up every morning and do. That's basically what I did. It took a while to figure it out, but once I figured out healthcare is what I wanted to be, then I had to decide which part of healthcare I wanted to be in. My ultimate dream would be to be an EMT, but if I can't be that, then I'll do the administrative side.
I definitely like my job. I like going to work. I mean, if you have to work. But I just can't see myself being there in 10 years, and I couldn't tell you where I think I would want to be.
How about you, Marcus?
Well, now in high school, a lot of kids are into like ranking and picking on each other. They have nicknames and things. Did you guys have nicknames and things, or did you guys pick on?
I don't think that's changed a whole lot.
That's really
I mean, the
changed for
names
some of
might be
us.
different, but I think,
Trina, what were you called?
I don't know, wonderful, beautiful.
Yeah, everyone called her beautiful, wonderful. No, it was, what were you called?
What?
Bob?
Oh, Bob.
Oh, yeah.
Tuna?
Tuna.
I'm sure we could go on for
We can go on. Celia, what were you called?
I don't think I had one, but you did.
I had what?
Brillo.
Brillo.
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
Brillo, 'cause the hair. The hair was more similar to this. So guess what? Starting tomorrow, you have a new nickname. I pass it on to you. Brillo. You're now Brillo. Greg, did you have anything? Did you have a name?
Yeah, Panama.
Panama, man.
Yeah.
Because Greg is from Panama.
Right.
Yeah. How old were you when you moved here?
15.
15. And so they called you Panama, man.
It stuck in my freshman year, and this one guy named Pat used to call me that in my architectural class, and it just kind of stuck.
Yeah.
And nothing would shake it. So since then, you can put it on the Letterman's jacket in big letters, and everybody called me that.
Where'd you take architecture?
Yeah, like what school?
Architectural drawing. I took 1, 2, and 3.
Oh.
Okay, Tom. How about you?
Like
Any
technical
name?
drawing?
Architecture.
You were just Tom, huh?
Yeah, it was so simple and easy.
What'd they call
So
you, Tom?
simple, so easy. How much time do we have? We have 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Here we go. If you guys can wish one thing for these guys here, one thing, each of you guys, what do you wish for them?
Personal success. in
Personal success.
Whatever that means to each one of them individually.
Celia?
I hope that they are all prepared for the future and realize that, this isn't it. There's way more out there.
Greg?
Take the learning part of high school very seriously. I think when I look back at high school, that's the one regret I have, is that I just took it and did it and passed it and got out. Did my time.
Yeah, learn rather than just show up and achieve the numbers. Learn how to get something out of just basic reading of a good book. And also, one thing I didn't learn in high school, but I caught on to afterward, just staying healthy. That is a huge, if you see somebody who isn't healthy, it's just, your life is so much easier if you're healthy.
Well, if the food that we had then is still there now, that's kind of hard to do.
Yeah, that fries and gravy routine.
That's awesome.
That's no bueno.
The half-alive burgers.
Now, going back to you guys, what have you learned from today? 1 hour of being with these guys, what have you learned? Anything? Anything stuck?
No.
I learned that it's not really a real deadline there, you know. Your life isn't over when you graduate, and there's more to it.
Yeah. Amy, anything?
I learned it's okay to be undecided.
Yeah.
And
There you
there's
go.
and that I still have time, and I just gotta go out there and
And so
figure out
Yeah,
find
that's what I
myself.
pretty much learned. You know, you don't have to think of like we're juniors right now, so you don't have to plan your schedule right now. You know, go through it. You can wait a few more. You know, even college. Like my sister, she's a real procrastinator. You know, so she waited.
Can't
she's
relate. I can't relate.
So you can wait to choose your goals later on in life.
And no matter what you choose, you can always change it. It's not in stone. Not in stone, not in stone. But what I wish for you guys is decide what you want to do. Make a decision. Stick with it. And then in a couple of years, you may want to change it and go for it. Okay? And go to college, because I wish I went to college and I never made it. And who's to say I can't? But I will. Anyway, never too old. Any last things anyone wants to add? Enjoy, yeah, and do everything. Go to everything, right?
Yes, go to everything.
Go to
the
everything.
Taj. There
Go
you
to the
go.
Taj. Go to the Taj.
Where's you guys' next reunion?
Next reunion, we don't know at this point.
He's going to be the one organizing.
Yeah, right. It's nice how that goes back on it. So we'll be having our reunion at the studio here, ladies and gentlemen. So if you watch, you watch. Anyway, thanks for watching the show. Thank you again to our panelists, Marcus, Amy, and Samurai. You guys were terrific, just outstanding. Thank you to our guests today, Trina Mannery, Celia Townsend, Gregg Springer, and Tom Hammack. You guys were just great, just great. Thank you again to our doorman, and thank you to Jesse Weston who did the music. And also we want to thank your teacher, Mr. Butterworth, for getting you guys here. So thank you very much. Come on out, you guys. Come on out.